Welcome back, everyone. Back in New Vegas, Old World Blues. I think we've got some more items now, some more quests to do, and a lot of talking to the eggheads here at Big Mountain.
The brains.
So, I guess, left to right. Let's see what's in the room. And I can make some more stim packs, and there's probably a bunch of stuff to pick up in here. Ammo, money, and money on that. Let's see.
If it isn't the fascinating little lobotomite.
Alright.
You are an unusual specimen to so boldly walk into the mighty expanse of the think tank, fearless and proud as a teddy bear. Between the extraction of their higher reasoning abilities and urination-inducing fear, most lobotomites dare not approach us, let alone speak to us. Yet you have no such fear. Facing me, epidermis flushed with blood, plasma running molten beneath, your face contorting with muscular expression. Will you indulge me? Say a few words. Face towards the monitors, please, so that I might record it for further examination.
So, let's see here. A quick scribe jumped over the lazy paladin.
Yes, go on. Seeing your lips and mouth forming words, both revolting and somehow... How does it feel to have the flesh roll around in your mouth like that? To control each muscle and the tongue, like having a fish or extremely dexterous slug lolling and flopping in one's mouthal cavity.
Seems to me you have more biological needs than your counterparts.
What? Nonsense.
Oh my. Close eyelids, breathe deeply, and stretch languidly. Sure.
What? What are you doing?
Turn and cough roughly, then slowly scratch nose.
Stop it. Why? Why are you making me partake in this filthy formography?
Run hands along sides of your face, then exhale rapidly.
Enough. I am already intrigued. You have sufficiently percolated me. I don't know what it is about the biology of lobotomites. It infects my thoughts. All that skin and muscle and tissue.
Just give in. Nothing wrong with looking at the human body. Sure.
Perhaps there is value in what you say. I did so enjoy breathing once, long ago.
Come back and just breathe if you want.
Would you? I feel so ashamed, but yet so intrigued. You'll need to give me a rest in between visits, or else my gel might run over. If you're ready, let me radar scan you. Slowly. Woo. Woo. Burble, woo. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Burble. Ba, bloop. Ba, bloop. Bloop. Whew. Last little bit there.
Great energy cells and microfusion cells.
Thank you, lobotomite.
I don't know.
Please, you must come back for further study when I've had a rest. I'm a little sensitive right now.
No.
Who are you and what do you do here?
Why, my little bear of
Let's
teddiness.
introduce ourselves.
I am Dr. Dala,
Yeah.
first head chief researcher of mineralogy and medicinal sciences. I have 211 doctorates in both applied sciences and techniques to apply those sciences. I also possess a degree in curiosity and advanced curiosity. That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. It has proven useful, especially now. I have become the expert on humanology and lobotomite behavior here at Big Mountain. My research doesn't descend into formography. It is only science.
Alright, 211 doctorates. How is that even possible?
Why, we create not only scientific marvels here at Big Mountain, but new sciences as well. Everything can be quantified, categorized, and dissected until every group can be subgrouped or partitioned.
First head chief researcher, lots of titles.
What is a name without a title or suffix for the sake of hierarchy? It is a long-standing quantification of personality and importance. We could not do without it. Surely you must be aware of the gravity of such attached appellations, just as surely as you must have a title.
Sometimes called a courier.
Oh, a mailman. A delivery man. Someone who takes parcels from place to place using their primitive feet or similar conveyance. You are the second one I've met in recent times. Very different specimens.
There was another courier?
Of course. You must have met others in your travels. This one had met other couriers too, although it sounded as if he hadn't met the correct one. He asked us all many questions, and then he asked a most perplexing one. We had to segment the event out of our memories for safety.
What was the question?
I do not know, nor should we try to access it. Perhaps Klein has the logs.
That's intriguing.
My evaluation would be to let your own curiosity go. I do not think that Klein remembers the conversation as being satisfactory.
Why'd you remove my brain and how?
Oh, removing it is a simple procedure. Well, except the complications it can cause to the heart and spine. But once the heart and spine are gone, no trouble at all. Clamp the subject down. One laser incision around the skull. Crack, snip, done. The brain is finally free of the skin envelope, which is then kept automated for cleanup duties around Big Mountain. Lobotomites. With you, however, something is definitely wrong. We've never had a lobotomite who kept speaking after being forcibly lobotomized. I am relieved the pacification field is working. If it didn't, I would broadcast some concern to my colleagues about safety protocols.
But how am I still talking and walking around?
That is a good question. My theory is that the Tesla coils in your brain pan are still connected to your brain somehow. It really could be anywhere. Brains are a lot smarter than most researchers give them credit for. We still have your spine and heart. If you were to somehow find your brain, wherever it sloped off to, you could humanically reduce yourself again.
Let's see. Feels strange in here, peaceful but on edge.
It is the pacification field emitters that are broadcasting into the emptiness of your skull. Without a brain, your aggression is suppressed in here.
Any way to shut it off?
Why would you want such a thing? You might surrender to your hormones and commit primal aggression on me, on us, again and again. Then I would have to return the favor, activating my vivisectors and gently lobotomizing you from behind. Not something I would relish doing. No, the only way to circumvent the field is to have a brain, and we extracted that like we do all the lobotomites here.
Other questions?
An interrogation. How fascinating. Please begin.
Can you tell me about Dr. Mobius?
Dr. Mobius. A monstrous brain creased with wrinkles of 1,000 evils, with but one jaundiced eye with which to perceive the world. Exiled from the think tank for crimes too heinous to remain in recorded memory, and perhaps differences in research methodology. His one terrible eye forever peers at us, an eye of ever-increasing magnification. He watches from his dome in the Forbidden Zone, spying on us all.
Don't understand how the tech Klein wants will help.
It'll all become clear. If not, at least we will have the technology here at the Dome, where all technology belongs. When we have all the technology, all the answers, we can share it with the world, piece by piece. All will be in order, and all will be like Big Mountain.
Okay. Tell me about the Big Empty.
The Big Empty? Now that's not a proper title for this research facility. You sound like previous test subjects that came here. This mountain, now crater, encompasses the sum total of knowledge of humankind. It is Big Mountain, where all questions can be answered. You'll see. No matter what your questions, Big Mountain will provide the answers, as it has done for so many before you.
Previous test subjects?
Oh yes, we've had other subjects visit. It's why we had to calibrate the pacification field and warm up our brainial beams and vivisectors. Only a short time ago, we had 3-1 subjects arrive, and they ruined several experiments, and even injured 2 of our staff. It is a shame their brains left with them. With you, however, we have taken precautions to ensure that problem won't repeat itself. We've conditioned you so you can't speak of this place, discuss our secrets, or attempt to use force against us in any way. Isn't that nice?
Why did you say 3-1 subjects before?
Because 3-1 is 2. 2 spoke to us, one after the other. One mean, one curious. But there was a third we didn't speak to. The last one is the -1. It got traumatized, then taken to one of our medical centers for de-traumatization. A rather unsettling procedure.
What happened with the visitors?
Ask Dr. O. And you could have asked 8 once, until he was severely damaged in the attack. We like him better this way.
Where you can't talk. Other questions?
Perhaps you are stuck in a looping gesture of verbal intercourse.
Spoken in there.
Until our next interaction, my intriguing little lobotomite.
Lots of new quests talking to these people.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one of them. Let's see, what quests do I even have now? Return to the think tank and talk to Dr. Klein about that. Dr. Boris, his bowl. Speak to all the others. Ask Dr. Klein. Ask Dr. O. Well, Dr. O. Why not?
Breaking news! Talking lobotomite arrives in think tank. Its purpose, unknown. Undefinable. Its presence here, impossible.
You're Dr. O, correct?
Oh? Oh, yes. I'm not going to bother correcting you. At least you got the doctor part correct. I can be grateful for that, Ethel. Stop the presses! Just in from my eye monitors. Is that Robco Tech on your arm? It is! What's your agenda bringing that in here?
What, a Pit Boy? Or agenda? I don't have any agenda. Not with Robco, anyway.
Oh, really? You have their tech on your arm. How dare you bring Robco Tech in here? What are you showing off? How great Robert House and his big company are?
Oh, we can make Securitrons better than any robot those geniuses at Big Mountain can make, and they'll last 1,000 years.
You're lucky I don't have hands to tear that dip boy off your arm, or feet to stomp on its stupid metal guts. Ugh. Damn Robco.
Well, you don't need to worry about Mr. House anymore, that's true.
Worry about House? Why would I do that? Hope he died alone in a dingy room, streaming his last remaining bodily fluids into jars. And him and his dirty girl bots. Don't even get me started on those filthy biological catcher's mitts.
Calm down, just want to ask some questions.
Fine. Ask.
Heard you and 8 were attacked by previous visitors.
I don't like to talk about it. 8, he can't talk about it. They fried his voice module. Something good. It wasn't all the visitors, though. Only one of them got out of control. He's the one that took control of Little Yangtze, our old human farm.
Nope. Tell me what happened.
This human. I can't believe it. He broke out of the think tank in seconds. Then he went for Yangtze, got bomb collars, and started practicing on the subjects that were still there until he got the right frequency. We were sending robots to stop him, and he was slicing and cutting through their shells with some souped-up laser gun like they were cheese paper. When he hacked into the mainframe, A tried to stop him and got fried. Me? He rerouted my processors to take control of the train network here. If you see the tunnels with the trains plowed into them, you can thank our visitor for that. He wrecked the whole place. While we were trying to keep containment on the surface, turns out he used one train to punch out a tunnel and escape. Sealed now, but...
Alright. Who were the others?
2 other human specimens. One arrived not long after the troublemaker, and the last one, not sure when he showed up. Thought the first one was going to be lobotomized in Y-17. She got out somehow. The last subject, Klein might know more. He talked to him, and let him leave the think tank. Hope he knew what he was doing.
Why is that?
Klein knows things we don't. And I think he told some of those things to the last visitor. Dangerous things if they ever got out.
What do you do here?
All things robotical. You see a robot? I made it. See a broken robot? I made it that way. Deconstructed it down to parts. I have a gift with machines. I can render anything inoperable. Preserve them in a non-functioning state.
I can do that too. Doesn't sound doesn't sound impressive, American machines, that is.
Who asked you? You just wait until a working machine threatens you, and you'll wish I was around.
You have another name?
Yeah, I do. It wasn't always O. I just took that one by default because sometimes it's easier to accept the mistake as long as the purpose works. I don't want to get into it. It's a sore topic with me. Makes my gel ripple.
Are you sure? I'm a good listener. Got the ears for it.
Great. Psychology. Clearly the worst of the sciences, right after colostodiuretics. Okay, so my name isn't O. Never was. It was circular, a single character, digit, but not O. But even with enhanced sensors, no one here could get it right. Always kept seeing the letter, not the number.
If they kept confusing the letter with a number, your name is Dr. O, Dr. Zero?
Yes, thank you. Zero. I am Zero. How hard is that? A narrow, thin zero.
Alright, so you want me to call you Zero, or...
Zero's my name. I'm proud of it, all right? It doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Truth be told, my emotional attachment to it doesn't even register compared to just having people recognize the difference. It's just that they're both sort of round and hollow, so when they monitor scan them, they assume that, oh, it's O. Vivisect me, please.
If you wanted to differentiate the Zero and the O, just put a slash through the Zero.
What?
It's a Zero, draw a slash through it. Or it's standard term link code to distinguish the two.
Did I shoot myself with a brainial beam or something? That's brilliant. I mean, I would have come to the same conclusion. Eventually. Oh, who am I deceiving? I never would have figured that out. I can't figure anything out. I'm useless.
Oh, that's
Oh,
sad.
goodness.
So is that what you want to be?
Exactly. At least the old name was indisputable. Oh is more like surprise. Oh, look what I stepped in.
Well, there is power in zero. It reduces anything multiplied against it to zero.
Well, of course it does. That's the most lethal of mathematics. That's pretty cool, actually. Destroyer of numbers. I already wreck every robot I study. Why not basic arithmetic? I like your solution. With that kind of slash in the middle, I can set myself apart. If I wanted to. To make a zero in all the think tank, they won't be able to escape it. That diagonal slash right down the middle. Thanks. Talking to you, it really helped unclog some frustration. Talking. What a primitive form of thought kicking.
So zero, got any amazing discoveries to share?
You know, hearing my name said like that, it really de-reses my screens. As for discoveries, well, of course. Look at this. Just, built it. Amazing, isn't it?
To scrap electronics added. This certainly is interesting, whatever it once was.
You know what? I'm not even gonna pretend. I broke one of the monitors, and those innards start falling out everywhere.
Oh.
If you could just hold on to that for me until, well, forever, that would be welcome.
Alright. Tell me about Mobius and these monsters of his.
That genius Mobius somehow cobbles together these really impressive-looking robot scorpions with spare parts. Even painted them. Tried to see what makes them tick. Can't even examine them without them detonating all over me. Left with shrapnel and burns. Every time. Supposedly, he has even larger models, even a giant robot scorpion hidden deep within the Forbidden Zone. Yeah, right. Giant monsters, sure.
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Giant robot scorpion.
Yeah, crazy, right? Something right out of a midnight science fiction feature. Ridiculous. What are the odds?
Okay. Tell me about this facility.
Big Mountain used to be a mountain. Then there was a slight mishap. Now it's a crater. The dome used to be buried, now it's exposed to the sky. Don't get me wrong. Makes the sky light up like a planetarium at night. All those spectra. So soothing.
I need more of those worthless caps to test the CIU barter functions upstairs.
I'd have a few left. Let me check. Yeah, there were a few under the monitors here. Here you go. Keeps the place tidy.
50 caps. That's all.
Until our next scheduled audio transmission and reception, then.
There we go. There's another one to talk to.
Yeah. How many other? 5?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got down here? Energy cell, flamer fuel. Have those already. Nothing there. Let's see. Okay. Energy cells. Doctor 8. What was that? Let's see. Your voice module got damaged, I heard, in an attack. That is too bad or good or something. Pretty sure you can understand me and I want some answers. Your damaged voice module. Can you tell me about the attack? Didn't catch that. Maybe part of the damage? Who are you? sounds important, I think. Do you know anything about Dr. Mobius or the Forbidden Zone? Alright, just calm down. Didn't mean to alarm you. Can you tell me about those technologies Klein wants? You sound agitated, or you're percolating, or something. Aha! Wait, after listening a bit, that's Robco Termlink Protocol you're broadcasting, right? There we go. On the same wavelength. Well, I've hacked enough Robco terminals to know. Okay, nice pun on the header file reference. Agree, if someone would just take the time, you're more than just sound effects in a tank. If that's Robco Termlink protocol, doesn't that mean it can be hacked? It will only take a second to violate your rights and make your voice mine.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Wait, what?
I was about to say, you just threatened him.
Oh, whoops. Well, let's see what you can have it. No, I didn't want to do this. Well, good thing I quick saved right after I talked to Dr. Zero.
Yeah.
I'll go back and fix that.
Oh.
Didn't mean to do that. I was a little confused. Okay.
Oh.
Let's see. What was that? First module got damaged. Can I ask you some questions? Let's see here. I think it was this one that led to it. Technologies Klein wants. Or maybe just talking a lot to him.
Mm-hmm.
Was important about the attack. And part of the damage. Dr. Mobius. Didn't mean to alarm you. There we go. I'm just full of surprises. Nice put on the header ref file. More than just sound effects in a tank. Doesn't that mean it can be hacked? Alright. If that's terminal code, don't worry. I'm not going to take advantage of your exposed code. Okay. That makes sense.
Yay.
Not a problem. I know what it's like to be experimented on. Oh, about when I first arrived, tell me you didn't sonjaculate into my sonic emitter. Oh my gosh. Oh, there had to be some other way to fire it up. Can we at least talk it over next time? Tell me about the sonic emitter. figure out both parts of the conversation from what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, I've been there. Higgs Village, right? Higgs Village, right? Your house is in there? So there's an emitter code in your house in Higgs. Oh, two codes. One for the jukebox and one for the opera. Yeah, that's pretty fair. I've already picked up both. I grab almost anything that's not nailed down. Got the emitter fully upgraded. Too bad the force field disruption works here. Or happy to. Can't let this thing gather dust. Yeah. Okay, you look really happy. Be proud. It's a nice device. Okay, thanks. Don't want it to run out. You're right. Okay. I'll be going now.
Do you still have the quest that brought on?
No.
No, I guess that was
Nope, that was all.
just talking to him, figuring that out.
Yeah. Okay. Dr.
Hello,
Boris.
Bottomite. Has it come for help?
Oh my.
Lowe's? You'll get no such satisfaction from me.
Okay.
The lobotomite animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps? Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal?
Animal? Did you just call me an animal?
Yes, animal. Hormones, pores, glands, all wrapped up in skin. Who knows what terrifying secrets lie beneath your epidermis? Scalpels shall tell us your secrets, even if we must cut deep for such knowledge. I was head of my biology class at American High, you know?
Count as your pet. Oh, here we go. Is this Gabe's bowl? Your dog from X8, Gabe?
What? Why, yes, it is. I used to leave it outside his doghouse, chock full of chems, before the cybernetic modifications, of course. And no matter how chemmed the food, he would always eat it, and his tail would wag, even while you know, I'm having the most perplexing feeling squiggling through my biogel. I can't quite pin it down.
Sounds like Gabe really loved you.
Why, yes, Gabe. No matter how awful my day had been, he was always waiting there. How odd. My gel is decoagulating. And when I would talk to him about Betsy, and how Marcus would beat on me and call me Smarty's sissy pants, he'd just sit there, head on my knee, and... If you don't mind, I'll take that bowl. Just need to remove it. Put it away, somewhere out of radar range. For some reason, Its similarity to the crater shape of Big Mountain is starting to fill up all available cognitive spaces. That, combined with my own overwhelming feeling of having done something terrible, the two were hitting me with unexpected force.
Poor game, that's sad. Sounds to me like you hurt someone who loved you very much.
As odd as it is, I believe that is the conclusion. And I wonder why it didn't hit me before, until I saw that memory in your hands. This sensation is unpleasant. I don't care for it. I don't care for this place either. And I feel as if we've forgotten something. Still, it is no matter. Crush the feeling down. Crush it down. Push it into the loop. Yes. Forgotten. Almost. Yes? I do not need to remember anymore. Not today.
Okay. I encountered your pet in X8 and had to
No.
kill it.
Just ask other things.
Okay. Well, what if I have to restart it? May as well do it.
What do you mean?
Well, what if, in the end, you have to? I don't know. You have to finish the talking, the dialogue lines.
Yeah, but you can finish all the other ones first.
Okay. Who
I
are
don't
you?
know,
What do you
it's
do
just
here?
sad.
Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living, breathing DNA test tubes.
You're responsible for cazadors?
Indeed. Docile, curious, safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation.
Those things are all over the Mojave.
No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes. They would no more be capable of escape than breeding.
I don't think they're sterile. They breed all right.
I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts.
Oh, it's alright.
Go ahead, you might make me more fertile or impregnate me.
Impregnate you? What? Do you want to make me vomit inside my tank? The mere notion makes the edges of my biomed gel crystallize into asymmetrical patterns.
You don't seem to have a grasp on your own research.
Nonsense! That is what you speak. Nonsense from beyond. I was at the top of my high school class in American high school. I knew facts. I knew figures. I knew data. We would know if our research was flawed. It is not. We never contradict ourselves, so do not even try.
Alright, when did you create cazadors?
In 2000, let's see, carry the 3, then count backwards from the Great Static, or beyond. There were the tarantula debates, and something about hawks, which made it around 2003, May, Tuesday. It was definitely Tuesday. Why are we even debating this? What you ask is of no importance. Mobius besieges us. There are more important things to worry about than data and facts.
encountered your pet in X8 and had to kill it.
So, you put down Gabe. Thank you. A scamp, but really, his highly augmented combat programming could have proved meddlesome. In any event, thank you for putting him down. One less test subject to catalog and sort. Clearly a failure of Doggy's cybo-engineering.
Aww. That's so sad.
Yeah. To know more about Mobius and the Forbidden Zone.
The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power, insatiable. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying Robo-Scorpion army clicks and whirs across the crater of Big Mountain, ever seeking, ever stinging. He must be stopped, or all of Big Mountain shall be destroyed.
We've got the radar fence around the crater.
The radar fence protects us all. If evidence is correct, the one who built it is me. It keeps anything with a disembodied brain inside, like us, and anything without a brain also inside. It is the ultimate defense against communist aggression. There'll be no infectious ideas on my watch.
Wait a minute, so that means you're trapped here?
Trapped? Nonsense! We are secure here from evil philosophies. Ever since my anxiety-filled days of powerlessness and being bullied in American high school, I have dreamed of such security as the fence. That and giant cybernetic dogs that would ruthlessly patrol and kill anyone who wasn't my friend, like Richie Marcus and Betsy Bright. Who's laughing now, Betsy? I hope you and Richie are happy smoking in your radioactive coffins. I'm glad you never came to my birthday party.
Okay.
Wow. Don't you want to leave here?
No! Beyond is death, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. No matter where these strange humans wander in from with their ideas and new brains, there is nothing beyond Big Mountain.
Evidence to the contrary?
Enough! Stop filling my precious brain cell units with irrelevant data. You sound like the other visitors, making wild claims of a world beyond, where there is a war beyond war. It is unproven and unthinkable. Bother the other doctors with your crackpot theories. I have no time. None of us do.
Why does Klein want these particular technologies?
There is logic and purpose in it. If these technologies are needed to pierce the Forbidden Zone, so be it. Science is powerful, and in the right hands, our hands, if we had hands, we would be nigh unstoppable.
Can you tell me about the Big Mountain?
It is our home, threatened by the horrors of Mobius. All we wish to do is continue our research, layer upon layer, above and beneath the floor of the crater, until we have our answers. But no, Mobius will not let us rest, scaring us with his scary robots with their laser tails and blowing up all the time.
Why have you leveled this place?
It was not our first choice of testing grounds, but we no longer have the luxuries of our test cities. Then we lost the mountain, After the explosion, we couldn't find it anymore. So the crater became our testing grounds. For science.
Test cities?
Yes. In the past, individuals would come to us, pay for technology, and if their town, community, or city was just right, we could use that city as a controlled experiment. Vault-Tec was much better at it, of course. We had to make do. Get permission. Sometimes. If only we could have used commie cities. But capturing whole cities was hard, so we captured enough commies to make cities of our own.
Gosh.
So we had a group of Chinese prisoners to experiment on. Those were the days. But the true test was science on unsuspecting Americans. Whether it was holograms, new autodocs, toxins, vending machines, we wound them up, let them go into tiny, isolated towns. Then we observed.
What was this explosion?
Boom! Yes, quite unexpected and embarrassing. All better now after the landscaping, though. Much more pleasing to our monitors. And the crater helps keep everything inside, because it is bowl-shaped.
Yup. Other questions?
Submit your questions. I shall respond with deadly answers.
Never mind.
Until next time, then. Provided there is a next time. For any of us.
Okay. What quests now? Let's see. Talk to Dr. Klein. Find all the audio samples for the jukebox. Talk to Dr. Klein. And talk to Dr. Klein. So, I guess there's still... Where's the last one? The Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, we
Dome
can't do that
entrance. Darn. Okay. I guess we'll talk to Dr. Klein. Ammo box. Go. Oh, I guess I have scrap electronics now. Locked door. Let's see. Mentats. More mentats. Dr. Mobius's glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So this was his room. Advanced radiation suit. 3 Radaway. Awesome. Rad-X and Radaway. Alright, Nuka-Cola clock. And there were they? I wonder which one was which was which. I don't know. Let's see here. The trophy. I'm guessing this is Dr. Forrest's. The animal cages and such. Specifically to take. Locked easy. Bunch of radios.
Do you like me?
I stealth suit. Yep. You're great.
This is Dr. Oh. All the tech.
Oh, gotcha.
Or
Dr. Zero.
Zero. Sorry.
Got it.
Dr. Zero.
Okay, let's see. time. A lot of clocks in here. There's Dr.
I can hear your penis-tipped feet tromping around.
Right. Dr. Dollar, maybe? So, it might be Dr. Klein. Oh, this is Dr. Dalla. Yep, teddy bears. Strange mannequins everywhere. Yeah. Most definitely. And one more. Super interesting. Alright, Dr. Klein. Lots of talking.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
I'd be honored if I could hear any knowledge the think tank had to share on the sciences.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
Okay. I heard one of the previous visitors to the dome spoke to you, asked you some questions.
Oh, yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted. Twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left us some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe. Oh, well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me.
Alright. Whatever you say. You seem like the one in charge. You are...
I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs.
Who is Dr. Mobius?
Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us, a friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace.
Alright. Your scorpions drain intelligence from living creatures. How? Chems?
I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical.
Okay. Strange passive sensation. I know
It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. It won't stop you from excreting, or asking questions, apparently. Have to correct that next time. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed, however. They are a no-no and not permitted in the think tank. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. This facility is top secret, and you cannot speak of it to anyone outside of Big Mountain. Should have done it with the last batch, and the anti-aggression scrub.
Apply the anti-aggression programming.
We had to take precautions after the last visitors. They caused a great deal of damage in a short time. Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain once they left. An oversight.
Who are the other visitors?
Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Dr. O more than 8. The battle against the visitors damaged 8's voice module. Suffice to say, those visitors are unwelcome. They stole a great many secrets and much technology. Impertinent. They also broke one of my trains.
Oh. What is this place?
This is the think tank. The nerve center of Big Mountain. The greatest research center known to man. And to us. Here we test and test and test some more in the name of science. Atomic power, nuclear power, and scientific power.
I've heard this place called the Big Empty.
Yes, because the intellectually challenged see an M and a T next to each other and take Occam's razor to it. While you are here, you will refer to this place properly, and you will do the same with the other scientists here.
I'd like to know about the Forbidden Zone.
That glowing red scar? That laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child? It is Mobius's fortress. From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic.
Tell me more about these pylons.
Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Except maybe Mobius. Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros' notes and schematics.
I have some questions about this brain extraction you all performed.
Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto-dock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why.
You said before that Mobius might have my brain.
Yes. In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear.
Mobius set up the auto-dock medicinal routine, so you think he's responsible for the post-organ dump.
Yes. Always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto-dock is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well.
My brain would know?
It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab.
What's this auto-dock surgery code you mentioned?
Mobius's legacy code was in the old auto-dock. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure, so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost.
Why would Mobius want my brain?
Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad.
It's mechanical robo-scorpions consume intelligence. Are you certain of your findings?
Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings.
Okay. And we covered all the technological information.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Do these technologies have the information you need?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, what?
No. I mean, yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
Do you even know what they do?
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me, a bit, I'll figure it out.
The antenna, any chance it was damaged or broke the X2 array once removed?
So you're saying it's the X2 array, not the antenna I should be examining. That was most likely my plan, yes. Let me check something. Of course, I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock. Yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
Don't these items seem more biologically focused than that, though?
Biological? Ridiculous. I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression. The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
So did that get rid of your quest that you were supposed to talk to him for all
Let me
those?
see.
Yep.
That's it.
Alright.
Right. That was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and save. And get ready to go to the Forbidden Zone. Let's see. Make sure I have all of my weapons that I'll need.
Hey! Maggie.
Let's see here. I don't need that. That'll help a lot. I don't really need that or that. Jury Tesla cannon, Gatling laser. Oh, I don't have any ammo for that, I don't think. Or not much. I have some. Grab these for repairing. Tesla cannon or the actual Tesla cannon? Which one to have? Probably the real one, I'd say. Or I'll keep the special one. Stealth suit, bunch of random stuff. Don't need. Wow, intelligence +2 from his glasses.
Oh wow.
I'll keep those with me. And I'll bring the combat armor just in case. To make any books yet, I don't believe. Because my stats still need explosives. Survival and unarmed. Wonder glue. Oh, and a bunch of blank books. Okay.
Yeah, that was something that we.
Bunch of them. All right.
Do you have enough space in your? Is you're already at
about 100 left.
Yeah.
I think that should be fine.
All right.
I think that should be fine. Right, now for the last place. Up to the Forbidden Zone. Oh, did it just crash? Yep.
Yep.
It did. Okay. Well, good thing it probably just saved when I exited the sink.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to launch. Yes, play game. I don't care if it's synced with the Steam Cloud. Alright. Should be seeing it. Yes, there we go. Continue. Alright, there we go. Now let's see if it'll let me do it. And yes, there we go. Oh,
Stop that! You'll damage the hull!
Attention! The bluegrass surrounding you. Including fecal matter. This does not give you license to excrete on it.
okay. And in we go.
Attention visitors. Common experiment in progress. Please put on your goggles.
This one looks pretty tough.
Lost radius. Radiation resistance.
Take some of right away.
Rad-X.
And
And right away.
Yeah.
There we go. That helped a lot. His weapon's doing.
Did I do something wrong?
Oh.
No, you didn't. I just need different.
Let's see what weapons doing.
Oh, there we go. Wow. Mobius. That was a lot easier than I remember it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I leveled up. Cool. Let's see.
Sneak with the suit is at 99.
So I put 1 point there just for that. Explosives. 90. 5.
Go ahead.
Oh, here, I'll put that to that. That might unlock something. And then, yeah, there.
What do you mean it might unlock something?
Like a perk for having
Oh.
sneak 75 or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. Certified tech. Damage book you pick up become blank magazines, which you can use to copy your existing skill magazines at a workbench, or convert blank magazines back to books. I don't think that'll be helpful. Outside, you gain +1 perception and agility. Maybe that. See? There's not a ton that I want now that I have most everything I need.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you have need for.
Or I could always just get one more special point. I might just do that. Intense training. Probably increase. I'll go for my perception. Why not? Alright. Drone control terminal. Giant Scorpion test log. Saturnite armor plating on the giant Robo-Scorpion has exceeded expectations mostly. While it's virtually impervious to small arms fire, the sonic emitter that Parsons brought in managed to fry several of the prototype subsystems. We'll have to look into improved EMP shielding for the next prototype. On a more positive note, the prototype's new atomic laser is performing admirably. Some residual radiation is left behind after the weapon discharges. It may be necessary to requisition more radiation suits and meds as a precaution. And that's why Mobius had them. Target drone effectiveness log. The constant improvements to the giant Robo-Scorpion has rendered the Protectron models we've been using as hostile communist forces largely ineffective. At this stage, they're little more than distractions. Alright. Some lockers. Let's ride away. And more radiation supplies.
They're like, you'll need these.
Yeah.
This is big.
Big deep. Is this something on here? Nope, it's right away. Alright. Go up here, see what else is around. My sonic emitter for that. There we go. Power regulation terminal. Backup generator log. The new atomic laser was putting an incredible strain on the giant Robo-Scorpion's generator. Darn thing shut down right in the middle of weapons testing last week. Pushed for reducing the laser's output by 25%. Instead, they slapped a backup generator onto the Scorpion. Dangerous, if you ask me. The systems weren't designed to handle the power from the two systems at once. And if some rookie tech fires up the backup generators too early, well, they'd get blown up. Probably. Here. Oh, Mentats. Huh. Rubber glue. Okay. I'll never need Wonder Glue ever again. Nothing in any of these places that I really need all that much.
I was just thinking that. You've got
Everything.
a lot, yeah. It's gonna.
This is a dead end, so now we go down here. What all's down here? And over here. Oh, Protectron, look at that. There's a way to open those, probably. Just a cup into the skeleton. Ooh. Emergency shutdown terminal password. Well, don't need that. I guess I'll see if there's any remains here from the scorpion. There we go. Energy cells, fission batteries, weapon.
Wow.
Guess I can go back to my regular home now.
Did you even know you were wearing me?
I think so.
I was gonna say that I wasn't.
We're okay on Stimpaks.
That's good.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's start over here.
We're okay on Medics until we have to numb the pain. Do you like me?
Sure.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Go. Coffee mug.
Yeah.
Drugs. Okay. Right away. Right X.
I think that was an empty bottle.
I think so too. But there was a lot in there. So I am okay with it. Okay, now up here. Bunch of those. Let's see. Pencil. Pencil. Turret.
I don't think it was. Oh, I bet you it was one of those that it might attack. Is that something that. No.
If it was malfunctioning or something during testing. Maybe. Let's see. That's Sparilla. Caps. Turret control system. Vengeance. Alright. Target the giant robo scorpion.
What?
Did I get any? I actually, no, you don't get anything from it. Shutdown terminal. Procedure log. Per instructions from the higher-ups after that one time the giant Robo-Scorpion's attack routine malfunctioned, we've installed an emergency shutdown procedure. Let's hope we never have to use it. Prototype systems will all be fried and we won't be up and running again for weeks. The military is expecting delivery on a battle-ready model within 6 months, and the project has already had enough delays. Didn't need it. Still gotta find that last sonic emitter code somewhere in here.
True. I guess you can turn that quest on.
It is.
Oh.
So there is a marker to it.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
So just have to find it. Okay. That's obviously the way forward.
There it is.
Audio sample.
Oh,
Mobius'
no.
Robo-Scorpion. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Take it to the sink to do that. Alright. Let's hold. Come on. Oh, never mind. You're done. Okay, what's in here? Another weapon. Okay. And I think that's it. So there we go. Door to the Forbidden Zone Dome. There he is, Dr. Mobius himself. Don't know where he's going.
Hmm? Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon Mentats break.
Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh well.
I was curious about some things.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
Can you tell me about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
I was curious about some things.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions, issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Everything you told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name, Mobius.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me.
I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You program their names as part of recursion loop, but to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Why did you trap them?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Klein Mobius. O's a circle and 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops, I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein,
Boris.
They have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
Minor detail, but the snake devouring its own tail is an Ouroboros, not an Ouroboros. Oh, I'm misspelling.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
If you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
There must have been other sides of a larger world. Or there were other visitors, though. Why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micro-magnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The only wrinkle is the one that the bullet made going into my brain pan.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
So you set your threats on a loop to keep them occupied. Or if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave ever.
Oh no, I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all. If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you. Well, once the think tank was dealt with, of course, your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere.
Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear, and along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcasts?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
What is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
That's funny.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Oh my, curious about some things.
Yeah.
Time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Okay.
Well,
That's that.
go get your brain.
Dr. Mobius's glove.
Oh. All the books.
Books. Now I gotta pick up all the books. Books and things. Well, before talking to the brain, we gotta loot the place, of course. Set, go. Okay, there's one. 2 rooms. Let's see. Just an axe. Anti-venom. Okay. Three. A box. Can't go that way.
They said I was mad.
You triggered it.
There it is.
No, the brain. This scared me.
A little bit me too.
Yeah.
Dr. Mobius's scrubs. Charisma +1, science +15, intelligence +2.
Wow.
Holy cow! So with his scrubs and his glasses, I
No.
assume.
Yeah.
Let's see here. His glove. Perception -2. Okay. Well, but with his attire alone, you can add 4 intelligence.
Wow.
That's insane. Lots of ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol. Dense. Toaster. Okay.
Nope. What was that?
Huh?
Oh, I thought. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm saying things
Going delusional.
I guess so.
Too many mentats.
Yep. It's way too many. Oh my gosh.
Man likes his mentats.
Yeah.
Scientist scrubs. Okay. Alright, go ahead and save again before we talk to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it won't be a short conversation either.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, hmm? Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Why are you such a jerk?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, Dick, unquote, As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Hmm? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
This stuff's fun. I didn't realize it cost you so much distress.
Well, maybe next time you hear me telling you that charging a nightkin with a penknife is a bad idea, you'll listen.
Did Mobius get a hold of my brain?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
How did he manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
Seems like a pretty unlikely coincidence.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
That answers that. On to something else.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about the good things? A cool breeze, smell of food, love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're in an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
Well, we could keep going like this. What do you think? I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So can you let him stay there and then leave?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't try it.
Huh. I feel like there's a perk either way to doing it. I don't know. If you want to stay here, I'll let you. Join me for some more wild adventures. I'll let him stay here. Why not?
Oh my god.
It's not that I didn't like being in your head, you understand. As far as heads go, it was a rather nice one. Well then, I suppose this is goodbye for now. What will you do?
I suppose I'll go back to the think tank and get them to let me out. They promised to do me that much.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Part of me, I know you don't want that to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
I'll handle the brains. You stay here. You'll be more useful outside my head. Let's go this path. I've never done this before.
That arrangement suits me fine. Do try not to get too many holes drilled in your head, will you? I may want to drop by for sentimental reasons. Right then, you'd best be off, hadn't you? The think tank will be waiting. No, don't worry about me. When you're gone, I'll flush myself over to the sink. It's amazing how far you can get in this place with a good flush. I'll keep myself hidden in the ductwork. Klein won't suspect I'm inside the dome, so he won't know the pacification field no longer works on us. I can also upgrade the sink's autodock with the procedures to reinstall your heart and spine, assuming you want all that flesh and gristle back. With any luck, I'll see you in the sink when this is all over.
They said I was
Alright. Okay. Well, I've never talked to my brain and said that it was a beneficial arrangement to
Leave him there.
leave him outside of my head.
That's
So
funny.
I expected the pet to do damage. What's this? Is that something under there? Or am I crazy? I guess it's probably just part of the Robo Scorpion. Probably. Okay. Wait, what's over there? Find samples for the biological research station. Oh. Well, I'm not very far, so why not? It's just getting over there. Which way is it? Left. So this is finishing up getting all the seeds for the machine back at the sink.
Nope, there's something. Oh. Not right here.
Suppose it's up there. Well, let's see. How do we get up there? Well,
There's
looks
some
like the way.
stairs.
Yep. We've been here before. Guess I might have missed something. Can't go through that way. Nope.
Uh-oh.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Whew,
Whew.
that was close. Up. Up is my best shot right now. To get over there. How do you get up there? Oops.
Not by falling off.
Not that way. Nope.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm coming from the wrong direction. Suppose there
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too.
Maybe. I don't think so, but who knows? Let's see here. Doesn't seem like this can get me up there. Get up there. Get to it. Try fast traveling there and see if there's a way up. Oh, that's just right here. What's this? Big Book of Science. Huh, okay. Oh, didn't look like I can get up that way either. Melee weapons skill book. Oh, oh. Okay. Surely this isn't a path. Nope.
Ooh!
Nope, I don't think it wants me to go higher than that. How in the world? That just goes around. And it's not down here in the bottom, it must be on the top. Ah, there's a pipe bridge. We get up on this one. Here somehow. Enemies are nearby. Oh, gotcha. So if I can get on this rock to the right, then we can get up there. This is the magnetohydraulics complex, I believe. Yes. From here. Need to go east and then get up there. Ha. We'll get there. Somehow. Ah, here we go. Yes, this is it. Go across.
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
Oh,
Ooh,
geez.
mine. Did that blow up the pipe? That'd be funny.
Come on.
Dealt with.
Ah. Seed package. Return the samples to the sink. Alright. I was having all the right ideas, just from the wrong direction.
Alright.
There you go.
You got some plans for me, don't you? Yeah, I can smell it all over you.
Like to process some plants.
I love it when you talk like that. Let me just get that interface up and running for you.
Convert process seed into planter. There you go. And 4. That's the rest of them.
There you go.
All right.
See?
Oh, please, please tell me you brought me some coffee cups. Oh,
Here's your coffee mugs.
No.
Greetings, citizen. Ready to receive seditious materials.
All right, here you go.
Fantastic. Won't that keep...
Process books.
Greetings, citizen.
And pencils. There you go.
have a new thing for the jukebox?
Oh yes, I do. Do indeed.
What's the hap?
New Soundwave file for you.
Right on, Daddy-o. Just plug it in and I'll mix you up a sweet, sweet sound.
Robo-Scorpion file available. I think I'll put that one in.
Right on, Daddy.
Robo-Scorpion.
Someday, I'd like to meet the man who's got no blues to sing.
Oh yeah, I got toast.
Got any more sweet, innocent little kitchen appliances for me?
Oh,
there you go.
Well, well. What have we got here? Another innocent little toaster. Come here. I won't hurt you. Ha! Gotcha! Oh yes, the sweet smell of spilled electric guts. The sparking diodes. I fucking live for this!
There you go. Only quest left, Old World Blues. I can maybe put my heart and spine back in if I want to.
You require some additional service?
Like to engage your services.
And rightly so, I should think. All right then, let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Swap body parts. Place your heart back in your chest. You've lost the Heartless perk. You gain Cardiac Arrest perk. Heart is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. You are less resistant to poison, only 50%, and robots are only somewhat confused by you, 25% less likely to score a critical hit. Now, but on the bright side, healing items, chems is twice as effective. Cool.
You require some additional service.
And what about the spine? Reattach your spine. Lost the spineless perk. Reinforced spine. Your spine is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your torso can now be crippled again, but your strength and damage threshold bonuses have doubled. +2. Yes, please.
Yeah, sweet.
I'm happy with this arrangement. What's my special now, I wonder? Wow. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Back to the think tank. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Oof. Just put that back out. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave Place, a fertile testing ground for our experiments.
You think I am the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
He or I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this for me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Okay. Leave the think tank.
Gotta go find your brain.
I guess?
Because he said that he'd go to the sink.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, he said he'd be in the
ducks.
The dome.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The Courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the Courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the Courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better Scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him over much. Once the rush of Mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other sink personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub.
Oh no!
Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups. Although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier left the brain at the Big Empty. A strange thing to say, but it was the truth. Brains are less important than they may seem. When the courier's body finally passed, the brain was saddened. It kept on, remembering the vessel that had once contained it. Even at the end, when it started to fail, however, the brain resisted going into a floating chassis like the think tank. It never said why. Perhaps it was out of respect for the courier's body. All things must come to an end, and to hang on to the past is something that's not to be undertaken lightly.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Acquire the transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave Wasteland and Big Mountain. To return to the Mojave, simply equip it and pull the trigger. It won't work in interiors or in combat situations and totally incapable of harming your enemies.
Do you like me?
Maybe we could dim the lights and have a candlelit discussion of classic literature.
Okay.
I guess you don't get your brain back.
Nope. Just leave it here.
Yeah.
And there it is. You can talk to it.
Nice to see you back. I trust the adventuring is going well.
Oh, you can ask to
Oh,
have
you
it
can
back.
put it back.
I'll be back later.
Barring the unlikely event that I evolve some sort of rocket-propelled locomotion, I will be here.
Oh, yeah, you can put it back.
You can, yeah. Well, I'm good.
Oh, cool.
That was fun. That was a very good DLC, and leaving it there unlocked some more insights into it that I hadn't seen when I previously played this, so that's interesting. And now I'll grab everything and leave.
If you can carry everything.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I guess it's true. You can fast travel over encumbered.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not even over
I was about to say you're not over encumbered. Wow. Oh.
340. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have more strength now.
Yeah.
Mad scientist scrubs. think that's about it. That's all I need.
So you have a weapon. Oh, I'm assuming that's it.
That's it. And it
It
crashed.
crashed. Did it save?
How fitting.
I hope it saved when you left.
It probably did when I walked out the door. And I quick saved before I talked to the brain, so.
Oh, sorry, I brushed up against the mic. Oh my goodness.
That was a good DLC. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. There were some good characters.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them.
Like Muggy. I liked him.
Yeah. Now let's see if we can get back to the Mojave.
Without it crashing each time.
It seems like it happens a lot from the sink balcony specifically. You know?
Yeah.
So let's see. And bam.
There you
we
go.
are.
There it
Back
is.
in the Mojave. It's weird to be back again, but
Yeah.
alright. Well, I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll be back next time for the final DLC of Through the Divide. So, alright, have a good day. I guess evening by now.
Yeah, evening. It's 7:30.
Yep. See ya.
Here it is.